pé àkú ìsinmi o, àkú gbìyànjú. A ní ká tún catch up díẹ̀ kó tó di pé a máa wọ bẹ́ẹ̀dì lọ. Mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa káàkiri ibi tí olúkálùkù wa bá wà. A fi kíkí láti bàbá wa Professor Akintoye, a fi kí wa. Àwa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ a fi kíkí látọ̀. A dẹ̀ kú gbìyànjú lọ́tùn lósì lórí ìrìn àjò tí à ń tẹ̀síwájú. Awareness náà la máa ṣe títí tá máa fi wọnú rally. A máa create awareness. A máa ṣe awareness títí tí a máa fi dé inú rally. So that is what we are going to do. So mo kí gbogbo aláǹkan sí. As usual, the job is not yet done, and that means that until tá bá délẹ̀ lérí la lè sọ pé a ti parí iṣẹ́. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tí ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Tá bá ti délẹ̀ lérí la máa sọ pé a ti parí iṣẹ́. But as long as tí àìtí délẹ̀ lérí, that means pé àìtí lè máa kíra wa kú iṣẹ́. A kò lè máa kíra wa pé a kú gbìyànjú, which is not bad. But nígbà tá bá délẹ̀ lérí lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa kíra wa dáadáa. So mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
Please be well prepared. So that they don't take you away from your father's land. And calling on to the royalties in your land. Your new Ife, the Imperial Majesty. Kábíyèsí, we greet you, sir. Please talk about this.
Lagos State,
Issues in Lagos, Oyo, Osun, please talk about this. Because when the Christianity come into Nigeria,
1842,
Mo ti restart again.
1842,
ló ṣẹ̀dé Nàìjíríà.
that was when it came in.
Ẹni àkọ́kọ́ tó máa kó Báìbù jọ.
And the first person to compile the Bible,
Williams lórúkọ ẹ̀.
Mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. I think I'm having problem pẹ̀lú phone láti fi ṣe YouTube yẹn. So I stick pẹ̀lú laptop láti máa fi ṣe YouTube because ìyẹn wà connected through the Ethernet cable. But n tí mo àmọ́ ni bóyá mo lè lo OBS yẹn láti máa fi ṣe. I think I might try that because I put phone yẹn ló ń fún wa ní problem pẹ̀lú YouTube. The Facebook are stable, but there's a big problem pẹ̀lú YouTube yẹn. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan ṣe kalẹ̀. So what we can do is I manage the broadcast yẹn lálẹ́ again, but laptop la máa fi ṣe YouTube broadcast wa. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan ṣe àkú gbìyànjú, àkú iṣẹ́ takuntakun lọ́tùn lósì. Àníṣe lásán, àṣeyọrí la máa ṣe, àní ṣàṣetì. Gbogbo àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń doubt pé kò ní ṣeé ṣe, ojú wọn náà ló máa ṣeé ṣe bọ́fẹ́ bọ́kọ̀. Since tí majority carry the vote ni wọ́n máa ń sọ. Majority carry the vote. So àwọn ni majority. Àwa tí a sọ pé a fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, àwa ni majority. Àwọn tó kù tí wọ́n ti accept, wọn ò ní any choice. Majority carry the vote ní tó wà nílẹ̀. So ká máa tẹ̀síwájú. Kò gbọdọ̀ sú wa, kò gbọdọ̀ rẹ̀ wá. Kò gbọdọ̀ sú wa. Ẹ bá wa lọ sórí WD76 kẹ́ bá wa sọ bóyá YouTube yẹn stable. So a ní máa lo phone fún one of the YouTube. A máa manage laptop tí mo gbé wá láti máa fi ṣe broadcast. So mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. A kú Easter. ìgbìyànjú àti iṣẹ́ púpọ̀. Mo kí ìyá wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Ọmọlára Ìyábọ̀ Ìjàlá. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Bọ́bá náwọn ò ní fún wa ní ìntafẹ́, àwa náà máa ní ànígbà. Ohun lọ̀rọ̀ tó wà ńlẹ̀ kò tí ì mú jàdá ní. A ṣe ń bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ ni àìtí sọ́dìjà. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká sọ́dìjà. So mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo kí gbogbo wa. Níbo ni Tinubu wà báyìí? Ó sì wà ní France. Jagaban kò tí padà wálé. Mo kí bàbá wa Olóyè Ìgbòho. Àwọn ọlọ́pẹ̀ pé kí a ṣe information ta fi síta lénìí. Ẹ̀ka kọ́kọ́ ká ń tẹ̀mù àká tó máa tẹ̀síwájú. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, forílẹ̀ ibi wa, ká gbéga, ká gbéga, ká gbéga fàlérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ́jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Ẹ ṣáà gbà fún wa bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe manage network. The network is not very good, but I'm a manager náà ni. Mo ti gbọ́ mẹ́sẹ̀jì ìyá mi Ọmọlára àdé pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Mo ti rí àwọn link tẹ̀ fi ránṣẹ́. So mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sí, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Olóyè pè mí lọ́sàn-án. Wọ́n ní ká máa kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá dáadáa. Wọ́n pè mí láti òkè òkun. Wọ́n ní àwọn oríṣẹ́ tí gbogbo wa ń ṣe ní takuntakun. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ká fi information síta pé tó bá tí darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ Ìfẹ́lódùn, lọ darapọ̀ mọ́. Ẹ lọ darapọ̀ mọ́. Mo kí bàbá wa alànà Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè. Mo kí bàbá dáadáa. The leader of the Yoruba self-determination, and that is one and only Professor Adébánjí Akíntóyè. Bálùbáríkà. Bàbá tó rí bí àṣà brother mi kan, wọ́n send VN kan sí mi. Wọ́n ní tẹ́ bá ń sọ pé ẹ ní leader, àti ní leader, àti ní Professor Akíntóyè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, no going back ni. Àti ní Professor Akíntóyè. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ mo bá gbogbo ẹ̀yin ará Èkó kẹ́dùn ní Òjòdú Bẹ́gà. Tá bá ní Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí Nigeria happen to us. Gbogbo alágbọ́ nípa ilé kan tó wó ní Lagos State lénìí ní Òjòdú Bẹ́gà. Information lórí desk mi. Ìkan náà àwọn èèyàn wa kan ṣaláìsí nínú ẹ̀. Àbúrò ìyàwó wọn. Gbogbo alámọ̀ Àlùkà. Gbogbo alámọ̀ Àlùkà. Àfọ̀njá TV. Àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀ ṣaláìsí nínú jàǹbá tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn. Nígbà tí ó pè mí, èmi dẹ̀ rò pé bí àwọn new building yẹn ni, wọ́n wá ní building yẹn ti wà for 15 years. Kò síbi tí ilé ò ti lè dáwó. but the problem tá a rí nínú Nàìjíríà ni pé a lot of things have gone wrong. A lot of things. So, but torí àwọn èèyàn wa tá bá ń sọ ó máa ń dàbí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé mo pè ń gbọ́ mi dáadáa, mo pè voice mi ń jáde dáadáa. Mo kí brother mi Yẹmí Fatoki, mo kí Mr. Daniel, mo kí Prince Adébáyọ̀ Shitu, mo kí Mr. Sunday, mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní different part of the globe. Tá bá ń sọ pé Nàìjíríà yìí ìlú kan tí ojoojúmọ́ tó bá ń jí títí tó máa fi lọ sùn tó tún máa fi jí tó máa fi sùn ìbànújẹ́ ni. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ibi tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ń ṣiṣẹ́ ó wà lára program tí mo ṣiṣẹ́ láàárọ̀ yìí, ẹ mọ̀ àwọn ilé kan wà náà lóòótọ́ nílùú òyìnbó tó bá dé stage kan wọ́n láti make sure pé ó ṣì wà conducive. Mo kí àwa Kẹ́mi Fáṣọlá ẹ̀ka lẹ́mà, ó yẹ kó ṣì wà mo ń wá the right word láti lò, ó yẹ kó ṣì lè sọ pé wọ́n tested after some years pé ilé yìí o àwọn èèyàn ṣì lè gbé nínú ẹ̀. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa. Èèyàn kan tí mo mọ̀ nìyẹn tó kú nínú ẹ̀, but bí mo ṣe gbọ́ wọ́n ní àwọn èèyàn kú gan nínú building yẹn. It's a 3-story building, but wọ́n ti yọ body ti family tí wọ́n kúrò, wọ́n ti lọ deposit òkú yẹn sí mortuary ní Yaba. Kò síbi tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ti lè ṣẹlẹ̀, jàǹbá lè ṣẹlẹ̀ anywhere, but ti Nàìjíríà ìbànújẹ́ ni. Bí mo ṣe ń jí láàárọ̀ yìí wọ́n send fídíò kan sí mi láti Ìbàdàn, a lè show fídíò ẹ̀, but tẹ́ bá wà nínú Koikimedia WhatsApp group ẹ ti bá pàdé. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wà lórí Twitter Uche mo kí ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Báwo ní Italy, ọmọ Biafra, no going back. Ọmọ kókó wọ́n bá nínú omi láàárọ̀ yìí ní ìlú Ìbàdàn. Definitely ẹni tó bímọ yẹn ló lọ jù nù. Ẹni tó lóyún títí tí pé fi bímọ tó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé òun ò lè tọ́jú ọmọ, ó yẹ kó wá àwọn charity organization tó lè hand ọmọ yẹn fún wá máa tọ́jú ọmọ yẹn. I'm sure pé àrí diaspora tó lè sponsor ọmọ yẹn, ààrẹ tó wà nílé náà tó lè tọ́jú ẹ̀, níbi táwọn kan ń bẹ Ọlọ́run lójoojúmọ́ pé kọ́lọ̀ fún wọn lọ́mọ. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lélẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀, a lè fi picture yẹn wọ̀nyí rárá, ọ̀tẹ́ bá ti wà lórí Twitter ẹ ti bá pàdé. Wọ́n sẹ̀lẹ̀ sí mi láti Ìbàdàn láàárọ̀ yìí. Apparently ọmọ yẹn ti jáde láyé, kò survive ẹ̀ because ó ti wà níta overnight inú omi báyìí lọ́ba. Ọmọ kókó ọkùnrin. Àlàáfíà ní family mi wà, Mr. Taiwo Ẹ̀ṣẹ́gọ́ni, mo kí àwa kó. So àtìgbà ká mú pé situation tabára wa nìyẹn, but a lè yọ situation. Mo kí brother mi Abiodun George, aláwọn different freelance correspondent, ẹ ṣàtúbọ̀ máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ torí èyí tó ń tí media fi dá ni pé kó lè rí information ní kíákíá. Information dẹ̀ wà powerful, jẹ́ má bínú. Àlùkà nìyẹn. Ó ní àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀ tó kú yẹn ó ṣe parí school ni, àlàáfíà ní family wa ọmọ Uche, ọ̀dọ̀ wọn ló gbé títí ó lọ síbi iṣẹ́ náà ní building yẹn dàwó, ìyẹn ti Lagos State, but Ìbàdàn yẹn ọmọ kókó. Okay, Mr. Adeniyi, ẹ máa catch up. Ìtẹ́ bá ti miss ẹ lọ tún wò. I then try to make sure one program one in Africa àfẹ́yẹ́ kó gùn púpọ̀. So there's a lot of problems that the politicians could not have solved for 26 years. One of that problem is a newborn baby was thrown into the water. Ọmọ kókó wọ́n jù sínú omi. Now, ìyàwó mi wọ́n sọ pé tó bá yẹ pé advanced country, a máa trace ẹni yẹn padà pẹ̀lú DNA newborn baby yẹn, because nílùú òyìnbó ẹni tó bá lóyún àárá àwọn kan náà tó máa ń bímọ tó máa ń jù sínú bínú àti rírò ẹ̀ lamẹ́ríkà, but there are probability that wàá trace ẹni yẹn padà. Àlàáfíà làwọn family mi wà, Mr. Maruf adúpẹ́ fọlẹ̀ ṣẹ́gun ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń bèrè, mo kí Mr. Majid Ibrahim. So what we are trying to say is that no country is perfect when it comes to disaster or situation like this. But in Taridile Yoruba nísìnyí there is multitude of problems, and all these problems we can still blame it back to the current state of the country. Láàárọ̀ nígbà tí mo ń ṣe program àwọn tí wọ́n ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa pé ká lọ join politics, mo kí ẹ ìtùnú báńkì mọ́mì. Ẹ rí pé mo mention pé 26 years is more than enough. 26 years is more than enough fún àwọn tí wọ́n run ní government fún wa, àwọn governors wa past and present, láti create the enabling environment. But nígbà tí ẹni tó lóyún títí dìgbò fi bímọ ó ju ọmọ yẹn nù, a ní reason. Mo kiri bàbá Abíọ́lá, at least in tó fi lè mú lọ́jọ́ ọmọ nù, a jẹ́ pé kò ní means láti tọ́jú ọmọ yẹn, whether ìgbà tó ń ṣe jigijigi bí a kò mọ̀ pé ó lè doyún, or kó jẹ́ pé ẹni tó fún lóyún yẹn ó náà lè gbọ́mọ. But tó bá yẹ pé society tó ń ṣiṣẹ́, tí mo mọ̀ pé nílùú òyìnbó àwọn tó bímọ jù ní Europe àwọn ọmọ UK ni, àwọn tó dẹ̀ ń gbé ní UK lè testify sí. Tó bá ní ìlú tí àwọn tó ń lóyún láwọn ọmọ ọ̀dọ́ ní gbogbo European countries, UK ni number 1. As age of 15, 16 years old, wọ́n ti ń bára wọn sùn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń bímọ, tí government take the bulk of the responsibility, whether ó mọ̀ọ́mọ̀ lóyún fúnra ẹni o kò mọ̀ọ́mọ̀, whether ọkùnrin tó fún lóyún máa gbóyún kò gbóyún o, tó bá ṣe ń lóyún yẹn wọ́n ti wà entitled sí welfare. Tó bá ṣe ń lóyún, mo kí ẹ brother mi Ọlákúnlé, moment tó bá ṣe lóyún yẹn, from the time tó bá ti lóyún títí di time tó máa fi bímọ, títí di time tó mọ ẹ máa fi pé 18 years old, ọrùn ìjọba ló wà. So ẹni tó lóyún tó di pé lọ ju ọmọ sínú odò nílùú Ìbàdàn, lẹ́ni ni mò ń sọ, fídíò tèmi ni mò ń sọ, kò ń ṣe jókòó. A lè fi fídíò yẹn wọ̀nyí, but tẹ́ bá lọ sórí Twitter mi ẹ rí níbẹ̀, àbí tẹ́ bá wà lórí Koikimedia WhatsApp group. So mo ń bọ̀ padà lórí yẹn, lórí ti gúrùpù ti fẹ́ lódùn. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí n clear nǹkan fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. In tó bá ti mú olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ, mo fẹ́ record it by so that ká lè fi sínú àwọn tí wọ́n máa lè gbọ́ later. Irọ́, ẹ má bínú, ó ti switch over sí, ẹ má bínú èèyàn wa. Apparently camera and switch síwájú, ìgbà fóònù yẹn fẹ́ switch ara ẹ̀ off, ìyẹn ló ṣe switch síwájú. Mo ń bọ̀. nígbà tá a bá ń sọ fún àwọn èèyàn wa pé ń bọ̀ it's too many WhatsApp group. mo kíyà wa Chief Gbangbala, mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ náwó sí wa pé ká sì máa báṣẹ́ lọ. Nígbà tí olóyè ọmọ Adéyẹmọ tó bá ti ní ká jáde ká fi information síta, tó bá ti ní ká jáde pé ká fi information síta, it is very important that you don't doubt that information. In tó bá ti mú èmi jáde tí mo ní Chief Sunday Igboho ló ní ká jáde ká sọ̀rọ̀ as a spokesman, there is no need for you to be asking question. Ẹ ní láti ṣe máa béèrè pé ṣé òótọ́ ni àbí irọ́ ni, because tíjọ́ tó bá ní ká jáde fún rally tí bá jáde náà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó kù, bóyá abẹ ṣe máa sọ pé ṣé òótọ́ ni náà nìyẹn. Because mo rí pé nígbà tí olóyè pè mí lọ́sàn-án tí wọ́n dẹ̀ gbéṣẹ́ lé mi lọ́wọ́ pé kí n lọ release a press statement látara pé a fẹ́ jáde, Yorùbá nation a máa jáde fún group tí àwọn dá sílẹ̀ tó ń pè ní ẹgbẹ́ ìfẹ́lódùn. Immediately tí olóyè ti bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ni mo ti pe àwọn tíìmù wa together tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. Èmi náà fúnra mi mo ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí, I record the video, I upload it, I kọ article, I upload it, I ṣe VN, I send it síta. Mo dẹ̀ kí bàbá wa the president of Ìfẹ́lódùn tí a mọ̀ sí Gani Alágbàlá, mo ti bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà, mo kí wọn dáadáa. That group is organic, authentic, and the group that belongs to Chief Sunday Igboho. So there is no need for you to doubt it, and there is no need for you to be asking questions pé kí ni ó wà behind it. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé nígbà tí olóyè lọ sin màmá wọn nílé ni wọ́n ní àwọn máa dẹ́gbẹ́ kan sílẹ̀, ẹni tó bá follow event yẹn nígbà yẹn. Mo dẹ̀ kí bàbá wa Professor Akitoye. So there's a lot of things happening behind the scene. So lórí group yẹn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ṣá máa lọ lórí ẹ̀. That's on that. Lórí YSDM is a stand-alone that represents the whole body. Tá à ń pè ní Yoruba Self-Determination Movement. Òun ló ń pè ní YSDM. So tá a bá ń gbọ́ YSDM, nǹkan pè ní YSDM yẹn. So fáǹfààní ẹni tí kò mọ̀ YSDM, tá a bá ń gbọ́ ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà, because sometimes a lot of people get confused with all these names. Ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà ni Bàbá Kítóyè dá sílẹ̀ nígbà tó fẹ́ register ní UNPO. Ìgbà yẹn wọ́n jẹ́ I'll try and see if I can find the name now. Olórúkọ tí wọ́n jẹ́ nígbà yẹn kó tó di pé wọ́n switch over sí ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà. And ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà dẹ̀ wà ní different countries as well, and different people are running it on behalf of the registration that went into the so if I go back to the Vanguard newspaper of May 16, 2020. Mo kí bàbá wa dáre, mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa. Admission of the Yoruba nation into UNPO. Professor Adebanji Akitoye. Professor Adebanji Akitoye, academic, historian, writer, Second Republic senator, is the leader of the Yoruba World Congress. Yes, Yoruba World Congress. That's the name I'm looking for. Leni. So Ilana Modua also is like a part of the movement. But if fell of the day, àwọn tí wọ́n disagree pẹ̀lú wa tẹ́lẹ̀ kò ń ṣe pé àjọ níjà, but bóyá for one reason or the other ẹlòmíì lè máa like it the way ta ṣe ń present ẹ̀, ẹlòmíì expect pé ó jẹ́ kí àwọn ọba wa wà involve even though pé kò sọ́ba kan tí wọ́n ti sọ fún pé Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ dá dúró. Bàbá Akitoye ti discuss pẹ̀lú gbogbo wọn. Àwọn elite wa, they are not interested, they don't want to have that kind of discussion. They are running away from it. Mo kí àwọn arúgbó àtọmọ́ mi. So tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá pé kó dá dúró, àwọn tó jẹ́ elite wa, they keep running away. Wọ́n ní àwọn ní interest. Wọ́n ò fi gbọ́ yẹn. In tó fi gbọ́ ni pé kí a ṣì wà nínú Nigeria. But the fact remains is that kò sí bá ṣe lè fi pẹ́ sínú Nigeria. Nigeria is not going to fulfill our dream desire. Nigeria ò ní fún wa ní the kind of dream ta fẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. Lóòótọ́ a máa rá àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan láàrin wa tó máa ṣe dáadáa, but the majority of the Yoruba people will struggle within Nigeria. So right now, any politician tó bá ṣì wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation kan ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ, that politician is one of the criminals, because olóṣèlú iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ní pé kó parọ́, and they will continue to tell lies because ó favour àwọn. So they will give all the reasons that no, Nigeria ṣì máa da, Ọlọ́run máa jẹ́ kí Nigeria da. No, all that is a lie. Àti wà much more educated láti mọ̀ pé irọ́ ni gbogbo yẹn. So all we can do is just to encourage majority of our people tó wà nílé. Mo kí yín láti US, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa, mo kí yín. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ darapọ̀ mọ́ ẹgbẹ́ ìfẹ́ lódùn yẹn, the link is already in the public domain, but tẹ́ bá ní the link yẹn, tẹ́ bá béèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn media àfún yín. Media tó bá nóhùn ní ẹ reach out padà sọ́dọ̀ èmi, I'll release it fún yín. So link yẹn, I'll see if I can get the link to the comment section. Number. So what's important that we all be part of the group. Iṣẹ́ tí à ń ṣe lọ kò tí délẹ̀, but ó ṣì àṣewà lẹ́nu ẹ̀. A dẹ̀ máa délẹ̀ lérí lágbára Ọlọ́run. Mo fẹ́ jẹun òbí àmọ́ lè fi link yẹn sínú comment section. So ẹ jẹ́ ká túbọ̀ múra sí iṣẹ́ tá gbà yìí. We have just one solution, and that solution is to exit Nigeria. That's all. That is the only solution that we have now. Anything short of that is a lie. Nigeria lè ṣiṣẹ́. There's no amount of what anybody wants to tell us. Nigeria will not work. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀yin fún wa ní ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbìyànjú, àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ encourage wa, àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ fún wa pé ẹ máa báṣẹ́ lọ, Ọlọ́run wà pẹ̀lú wa. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá àti bàbá, àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé, àtàwọn tá wà ní diaspora. We will continue the push until we get to our final destination. Mo kí bàbá mi Sunday. Títí tá a máa fi délẹ̀ lérí, we will continue to create awareness until the call for the rally comes out. And the call for the rally is getting closer. Like Borolong, I can tell us that. It's getting closer and closer on a daily basis. For every day, tí bá ti jáde, rally yẹn súnmọ́ bọ̀. For every day, tí a bá ti jáde, rally yẹn súnmọ́ bọ̀. Àwọn tí wọ́n doubt pé bóyá rally máa wáyé kò ní wáyé, mo fẹ́ sọ fún wa pé ẹ má fi doubt sí o. Ẹ má doubt rárá o. It does not matter whether you agree, you disbelieve, whether you think that it will not be something that will come up. The rally is going to come up. There will be the Yoruba Nation mega rally. And some have argued that ṣé rally la máa fi gba Yoruba Nation. Ojú ń kàn yín ni, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń béèrè question yẹn. Ojú ń kàn yín. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń béèrè question pé ṣé rally la máa fi gba Yoruba Nation. This is Koikimedia voice note coming from our studio. Èdè ní 19 ní 11:21 p.m. local time láti Africa. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń sọ pé ṣé rally la máa fi gba Yoruba Nation. Mo ní ojú ń kàn yín ni. Ẹ fẹ́ mọ̀ tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀, but rally ló máa kọ́kọ́ jáde. Tí a bá ti wà nínú rally, then tó bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n á máa ṣàlàyé fún wa. But nígbà tí wọ́n ti sọ fún wa pé tí wọ́n bá fún wa ní demands wa, a lè lọ anywhere. So ó ti show pé rally ló máa lead sí Yoruba Nation. Now, do we need any country to approve our country? No. We don't need any country to approve it. Mo kí bàbá wa Waris Jinadu. We do not need any country to approve. Tó bá support the ambition pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró, it will be a benefit for them and a benefit for us. But don't expect the politician not to fight back. That I want us to put it at the back of our mind. But the reason why they will not be able to fight back is if we are able to come out in our masses in millions. Ọwọ́ wọn máa bọ́. Kò sí ìlú kan láyé táràlú bá ti sọ pé in táwọn fẹ́ lélẹ̀ tí wọ́n dẹ̀ stick to it. Ìjọba ìlú yẹn gbọ́dọ̀ gbà fún wọn. And one of that is the South Korea. We witness in South Korea, kódà, their president right now is going to go through South Korea. In South Korea, their president was was impeached. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún yín ní background quickly. Mo kẹ́yìn yẹn wá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Koikimedia is my name, and I'm sure by now you know the purpose of this channel: self-determination. There was an impeachment of Yoon Suk Yeol. That is on the 14th of December 2024. He is the 13th president of the South Korea, and he was impeached by the National Assembly. This action came in response to Yoon's declaration of martial law on the 3rd of December 2024. Ó declare martial law. So let's give an example. Tabawa níta tó di pé government feel pé they have the power, the strength to hold people's back. The government would eventually have to go into more problem because àwọn tó náà fẹ́ peace tó dẹ̀ pé through the peaceful way lọ́fẹ́ tí government kan bá wá ń lo strength pé òun máa lo gbogbo agbára tóun ní against the people and the people revolt, we might end up getting to a very nasty situation. nasty situation. To avoid that, that's why we're saying to the government, last year, a letter was sent to Tinubu for a peaceful negotiation between the Yoruba people and his government. Láti make an amicably way for the dissolution and the exit of the Yoruba people. But Tinubu rò pé bóyá òun ní strength, òun ní agbára kan tó wà lọ́wọ́ òun. He doesn't have the power. The power belongs to the Yoruba people on our soil. He doesn't have the power. Tinubu doesn't have that power. There's no amount of what Tinubu wants to do to stop us from achieving our Yoruba country. It cannot be possible. So, in South Korea, there was a lot of tension in South Korea in December last year. And that led to the removal of the president. I will remove president. I will remove our kúrò ní Nigeria. So let me read quickly the background to the story. The reason why we are giving you all this, example, so that kí ẹni tó wà nílé kó lè yọ fear kúrò pé Tinubu ní agbára láti dá wa dúró pé ká má lọ gba Yorùbá nation. Tinubu ò ní any power to stop us. He has no right to stop us, but he can use his wisdom and knowledge láti agree pé kí Yorùbá kó dialogue kó dé exit. But tó bá rò pé bóyá òun máa lo strength pé torí òun jẹ́ president, the chief of army staff, the chief of staff of the military, the federal government, the president, it could be very, very nasty. So let's read through. South Korea president has been removed from power. What happens now? Kí ló kọ́kọ́ fà? The South Korea president has been removed from office after the Constitutional Court voted anonymously to uphold his impeachment. Yoon Suk Yeol was suspended from duty in December after his failed attempt to impose martial law. Kí ló ń pè ní martial law? Let's get the meaning of that. When we talk about the martial law is the replacement of civilian government by military. Just similar to what Tinubu is doing in Rivers State. The suspension of a civilian legal process for military powers, state of emergency. Martial law can be continued for a specific amount of time, just like 6 months of money, Rivers State, or indefinitely standard civil liberty may be suspended for as long as martial law continues. So what we need to understand is that we, our Tasokwa country, Tafedaduro, we must prepare that Tinubu can make our state of emergency. We must add, since we have already seen the template in Rivers State, so automatically we must prepare for such. But does that stop us from not going further? Because there's a state of emergency that might or not, I don't know. I'm just, because since that in Nigeria, in Rivers State, there's tendency, there's probability that there might be also a state of emergency as well. So that means that we, the Yorubas, that want our own independent country, must prepare for every eventualities that will be thrown at us. Whether it's the smallest, the biggest, every eventuality to about Jusiwa, we, the Yoruba people, must not back down. Every eventuality that the federal government will throw at us. And that is something that we need to put at the back of our mind. the government would do everything to discredit the movement. We saw that with the Biafra from Buhari that labeled them as we've just lost the broadcast on the YouTube, so I'm gonna have to start it again. So there's a serious, we're struggling with our, with the networks. It's terrible. I don't know what's going on. Kò jẹ́ kí broadcast wa kó smooth rárá. Shows that it's a terrible, terrible situation with this network. I really struggle pẹ̀lú ẹ̀gbọ́n, but kí la fẹ́ ṣe sí. So we must understand that it seems that the network is very terrible until you are used to a very smooth network, and then you are experiencing something like this. It shows that there is just too much wahala in Africa. But hopefully we will get there one day. Not if you are Jawan Yawagon. Not if you are Jawan Yawagon. It's terrible. And that's the reason why tí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ kí Yorùbá kó dá dúró. Kọ̀tà àbá dá dúró nísìn gbogbo òkè òjò ń rọ̀, òjò dẹ̀rọ̀ ládọ̀ tèmi, ó rọ̀ lánàá, kò rọ̀ lénìí. So we're really struggling, with the network today. I really struggle, but what can I do? I have to keep going. Bashe end the last, and restart again. It's not good at all, but it is beyond my power. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch everything off, and we'll just see if we can stick to one channel, a YouTube, and see how far I can go on that. So I just can end the other YouTube channel. I just can end here, yeah. So ka wo boya a stable. When I keep me it is definitely not going smoothly. So ka come ma ṣe fàájì nísìnyí. A lè ṣe program bá ṣe ń ṣe. So we're struggling with the network. Moki Akin Games, Moki Ogumola. Okay, and you take complain because you are okay pẹ̀lú section you Moki Mr. Adeniyi. So Moki yẹn wà lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Moki our Rukayat. And iṣẹ́ lásán. We will get there. As long as about to give up, I think that's the first key, because àwọn olóṣèlú expect we can't give up. So tá bá jáde fún rally, a gbọ́dọ̀ prove pé a fẹ́ give up. That I think is the most important thing. We cannot afford to give up. No matter what they throw at us, a lè afford láti give up. No matter what they throw at us, we must remain firm. A lè afford láti give up. So YouTube dey call Latin stream me say, see how far that one we go. So a lè afford láti give up rárá. A lè afford o. A lè afford láti give up at all. Because ó better ká push ẹ̀ délẹ̀, ká achieve result than pé ká wá náà fẹ́ give up. A lè afford láti give up o. So ìwọ tí à ń sọ fún, ẹ jẹ́ ká really prepare mind wa gan pé the task ahead is still not yet done. A ṣì ní a lot of tasks to cover, and one of those is having our own country. Tàwa dẹ̀ máa ní country wa kò ń ṣe ẹnu la máa fi gbà o. Iṣẹ́ a máa ṣiṣẹ́ gan la fi máa achieve it, and that's why we need to support Baba Akintoye, support the YSDM, and support all the groups including the Ìfẹ́lódùn tí bàbá wa ní kí gbogbo àlọ́ darapọ̀. So iṣẹ́ ni o, kò sẹ́ni kankan tó fẹ́ yẹ kí ẹnì kankan free. Ẹ wo bó ṣe ń ṣe Burkina Faso tó ń fi máa sọ di America, wọ́n complain nípa Burkina Faso. So we have a lot of work to do. The work is not yet done. Iṣẹ́ pọ̀ gan tá a sì fẹ́ ṣe, but àwa la máa defeat àwọn enemies wa. A gbọ́dọ̀ wà very very strategic. Mo kí bàbá mi Waris Jinadu. A gbọ́dọ̀ wà strategic, a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wà firm. Mo kí àwa Grace Olúṣòótọ́ ìyá mi dáadáa. Happy Easter ma. So a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣọkan akin. A gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ọkọ̀ akin. Kò sí nǹkankan tí wọ́n fẹ́ throw at us. A gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ọkọ̀ akin. Kò sí nǹkankan tó fẹ́ sọ Yorùbá fẹ́ lọ ó fẹ́ lọ náà ni. It's as simple as that. So a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣọkọ̀ akin. A gbọ́dọ̀ ṣọkọ̀ akin gan. So mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ má bínú sí wa fún network wa. I'm trying my best, but so far my best is not bringing my result out. So we might have to look at another angle of our transmission, because we're really struggling with our transmission in the last couple of days. I have already complained, but as usual, nothing has been done. Mo ti complain, but àrí kankan ṣe sí. So ẹ má bínú sí wa. But mo mọ̀ pé dúdùn lọ́sàn máa sọ lágbára Ọlọ́run. So South Korea Prime Minister was able to impeach and jail 24 years for corruption in 2018. So North Korea don't play with leadership corruption. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àwọn èèyàn wa nísìn tí ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn olóṣèlú ti parọ́ gan, but a sì máa ráwọn tó sì fi lọ support olóṣèlú ní 2027, but àwa ni a máa decide bóyá a fẹ́ kí 2027 exist or not, and that means that this year iṣẹ́ wà fún wọn tá máa ṣe. Àwa la máa decide pé a fẹ́ 2027. Tá bá dẹ̀ ti ní a fẹ́ 2027, that means we have to do everything to stop it, because ọ̀rọ̀ election kan ló kàn nísìn, kò sí nǹkan tó kàn wá pẹ̀lú election mọ́, but olóṣèlú sì fi ṣe election. Àwọn olóṣèlú sì fi ṣe election. So that means a gbọ́dọ̀ push ẹ̀ gan pé kí gbogbo ọ̀nà tí àwa máa fi jáde kó tó di pé election dé ní 2027. So we have 2 years window láti fi push ẹ̀. So, and that's exactly why we are doing all this today. So the more tá bá dẹ̀ push ẹ̀, the better for us. So yẹ ká túbọ̀ gbìyànjú gan. A ti ń ṣe ìgbìyànjú tó pọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, but àsìkò táwa yìí a gbọ́dọ̀ increase ìgbìyànjú wa gan ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ. A gbọ́dọ̀ increase ẹ̀ ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ, torí pé àsìkò táwa yìí ó léwu gan tá a bá lọ push ẹ̀ ká fi gba Yorùbá nation. That means pé a tún máa lọ máa ronú pé yes, we all have a very big task ahead of us, and we shall achieve our aim láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. So this is not the time to feel tired. Àwa náà tired, but we have to keep the energy going, because that is the solution. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà involved, tí for whatever reason bóyá ẹ wà satisfied. Mo ní bàbá wa kan tí màá tí wọ́n tó bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ moment tí mo gbọ́ Dúpẹ́ nínú conversation wọn báyìí mo kọ́kọ́ ṣe gbàsìgbòs fún wọn náà pé ìgbésà ló jẹ́ Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì. So ẹni àwọn kan wá ẹni tó máa lè gbá wa já ní kò ń ṣe bí ti Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì àwọn àtẹ̀fí gbórúkọ yẹn rárá. Dúpẹ́ kọ́ Dúpẹ́ ni. So I need anybody to máa wá distract wa níbi tí a dé lálẹ́ yìí. So we have to be very firm, we have to be determined, and we have to be ready to fight all the way through. That is the solution. We have to be ready to fight all the way through. Tá bá dẹ̀ ní fight kò dìgbà tá bá kó bọn síta, tá kó àdá síta, tá kó kùmọ̀ síta. There are many ways you can defeat a government. There are many ways you can defeat a government. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, Dúpẹ́ is no more relevant. And the movement can't be stopped no more. We moved 100%. So, but again, we cannot agree to anybody apart from Baba Akintoye. Baba Akintoye is directing us on the right path. All he needs from us is our support. That's all. Ntoba mú àwa náà pé ká wá jókòó ti Baba Akintoye nísàlẹ̀. So that ká lè fọwọ́ kún Baba Akintoye ni, nothing more than that. Ká lè fọwọ́ kún wọn, ká lè jọ máa ṣe kó lè bá rọrùn. Torí wọ́n ní ìrọ̀rùn igi, òun náà ní ìrọ̀rùn ẹyẹ. Èyí tó bá mú bàbá yẹn tó ti wà nínú Kútọ̀nù láti how many years now, tí kò lè lọ́lé, ó nílé lẹ́kìtì, ó dẹni tó ń gbé ní Kútọ̀nù. Ẹ fi pé ó cheap ní Kútọ̀nù ni, ó expensive, it's quite expensive. Tó bá mú 100,000 naira dání lẹ́ni nísìn, á fún ẹ ní 30,000 safer. 100,000 naira will give you 30,000 safer. So it's quite expensive. So for him to sacrifice everything for us, then tá bá fẹ́ kí bàbá bí ṣe sọ, tá bá rí nífẹ̀ẹ́ kí bàbá kó jẹ́ pé bàbá ló máa ná àsíá fún wa. Tá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí bàbá jẹ́ pé àwọn ló máa ná àsíá tá à ń sọ yẹn. Then iṣẹ́ pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa tá fẹ́ ṣe. Iṣẹ́ pọ̀ gan-an. And one of the tasks is to first make sure that, we defend and protect our leaders from the enemies. Because the enemies are watching. Wọ́n wò wá ní Sultan of Sokoto ń complain nípa social media. Ṣẹ́yìn mọ̀ pé tó fi mú Sultan of Sokoto tó ń complain nípa social media, ó ti bá wọn lára gan nìyẹn. So this upcoming rally is a big test gidi ni. Mo kí brother mi Shakiru, ìyá wa ń bèrè ẹ lórí program lọ́sàn-án Ajé Olókun nígbà tó ń ṣe program. So ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá fẹ́ kí Baba Akintoye ní èjì bàbá yẹn, Ọlọ́run ló lẹ̀mí gbogbo wa, kọ́lọ́run fún bàbá lẹ́mí gúngùn kó jẹ́ kó pẹ́ fún wa. But Baba is 90. So tẹ́ bá wá ní àtúnfẹ́ drag it beyond time táwa yìí, then ìgbà la fi gba country ọ̀hún. That means ká ti sọ de eré nìyẹn. Tá bá serious, Yoruba nation will be out of Nigeria before the end of this year. That is if we are all serious about it. Tí gbogbo bá serious. Kò ń ṣe, for me, I want us to be out of Nigeria by end of this year. Bó ṣe wù mí lọ́kàn nìyẹn, bó dẹ̀ ṣe láti rí nìyẹn. But a máa ní many people. Ṣé gbogbo àwọn tó ń jẹnu Nàìjíríà nìsín fi pé wọ́n fẹ́ accept pé kí Nàìjíríà kó pín? Gbogbo alámọ̀ wọn náà, we all know them. Gbogbo àwọn socialites wa tó ń gbádùn tó rò pé àwọn wà okay. Àwọn ò fẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó pín. But àwa tá jẹ́ indigenous people, a máa challenge àwọn tó kù láàrin wa. Ẹ ṣé gan ni mo kí ìyá wa Ọmọlájà, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ìkànnì wa. Mo ti wà lórí bed, mo ti fẹ́ sùn tẹ́lẹ̀. Mo bá wọ̀ pé bó tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé kákọ̀ jáde káwọn ṣàríwá ó sì better, because we need to encourage ourselves. Ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́dọ̀ encourage àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ encourage ẹ̀yin náà. And there's a lot of people that are prepared. So it's Moki Bishop additional. You know, wọ́n ní kẹ́ tọ́jú owó yín pamọ́ sínú rúbà, àwọn kan wà against it. Kí ló wà níbẹ̀? We have to protect our assets. We have to protect the little. And though ní owó okay, but what about any large chunk of money to go sínú Nigerian bank? Nobody knows what can happen. Even pé àti àwa Yoruba nation nìkan kọ́ mọ́ nísìn. Nigeria is going through a lot. Anything can happen. Anything can happen at any time. And we must know that. Àwọn tó mọ̀ ni wọ́n live in denial. A sọ fún pé kankan ní ṣẹlẹ̀. A ní kankan ní ṣẹlẹ̀. Apart from pé Fulani fẹ́ attack, the country itself is going through a lot of problems. So I really gbọ́dọ̀ make sure pé gbogbo tó bá gbà la gbọ́dọ̀ fún lọ́dún yìí. Gbogbo tó bá, whatever it is, kò sí tó ń bọ̀ lókè tí ilé ò gbà, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ tí kò tí ṣẹlẹ̀ rí. Let me take you through àwọn IRA just to encourage us tonight. Even though pé a ti stream sórí méjì péré bí àyẹ̀nì kan la ṣe máa lò nísìn. Àwa lórí Koikimedia YouTube, àdẹ̀wà lórí Facebook, àdẹ̀wà lórí MixLR. So mo kẹ́yìn tèmi lórí MixLR. Ẹ̀yẹn kú gbádùn, ẹ̀yẹn ò ní problem. IRA. Independent. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ka the Irish War of Independence. Bí eléyà tún encourage one or two people nígbà tẹ́ bá gbọ́ program yìí débi báyìí. The white conspiracy against the black. Brother mi kan ló send ilé sí mi nísìn. Àwọn aláwọ̀ funfun fẹ́ ká ṣoríire. Kò fẹ́ ká ṣoríire rárá. The white conspiracy against black empowerment. The devil is alive. I feel him breathing, claiming money. Okay, translate. I translate now. Accept. For the black nationalists of the late 1960s and the early 1970s, both the American government aggressively inventionist foreign policy and its domestic strategy of repression and containment signal the existence of a carefully calculated conspiracy against people of color. Afraid that such schemes would destroy their own Black Power initiative, consciousness rising, revolutionary, said joined with cultural nationalists and fellow traveling poets, playwright and novelist to provide early warning of the coming pogroms. This essay will place this response in historical context, noting that their origins and tracing the black community belief in white conspiracy to bring about an African-American final solution through the 1980s and the 1990s. What they've done is they've destroyed our history anyway, so let me just talk about the probably maybe another 20 minutes go to the end programming. The Irish War. Just a bit of education around it, and hopefully one or two people can learn something from it. We will get there no matter what We will get there. And we must never give up. We must never give up. And we must continue to push until we achieve our aims and objectives. Mokan staff, they're working around the clock is not easy. With the little resources that we have, wọ́n gbìyànjú gan. So kọ́lọ̀ bá mi dé ìgbìyànjú aládé aláwọn staff wa. A máa ṣiṣẹ́ débi tá a máa ti gba country ni kò ń ṣe pé wọ́n máa fún wa ní country o. Tẹ́nìkankan bá rò pé èèyàn kan bọ̀ wá fún wa ní country, nobody is coming to give you a country. We have to work towards getting the country. So nobody is going to give you that country. We need to work towards achieving that country. And that's exactly what we are doing right now. So Koikimedia, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps. Mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìní 19/04/2025, coming up to midnight, 23:53 p.m. local time. The Irish War of Independence. The Irish War of Independence. Independence isn't given, you have to take it. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, bàbá wa Amújalẹ̀. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó máa fún yín ní free independence. And tá bá kàn rò pé bóyá ká kàn jókòó sórí YouTube, ká máa wo YouTube video, ká máa wo Facebook video, ká máa wo short video, ká máa gbọ́ VN, òun ló ń pè nípa àti gba country. It doesn't work like that o. Until there is a conclusion of a declaration that would eventually lead to placing our flags across all Yoruba land. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní àti gba country o. And we're able to defend it as well. One Koiki, you can't believe that the Fulani guy that confessed he killed Oba Babatunde Ogusaki, the Elesun of Esu Ekiti and Omojo of Imojo in Ekiti, a year ago was arrested again by vigilante in Imo State. Chengbo. One ẹni tó no pa ọba tó confess. That means pé wọ́n ti fi sílẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni fún update yẹn. Mo tẹ̀ rí yẹn rárá. Bàbá wa kan Prince Adé sọ fún mi nísìnyí pé ẹni tó confess pé òun lòun pa ọba méjì tó pa láìpẹ́ yìí, Ọba Babatunde Ogusaki, the Elesun of Esun Ekiti, àti Olúmọjò of Imojo in Ekiti. Ní ọdún kan sẹ́yìn, wọ́n náà tún wá arrested àwọn vigilante kan ní Imo State. So ìbéèrè tẹ́ ká béèrè ni pé báwo ló ṣe tú sílẹ̀? Anyway, ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú lórí the Irish War of Independence. Àwọn wo ló ń pè ní Irish? Ibẹ̀ láti kọ́kọ́ ní understanding. Ta ló ń pè ní Irish? Irish can refer to several things, including a nationality, a language, and a culture. The question tí mo ń bi wá again ni pé ta ni wọ́n ń pè ní Nigeria? Nigeria doesn't have a language, it doesn't have a culture, and it doesn't have a nationality. But for a very long time, for 60 years plus, we have all been told that we are independent and we are called Nigerians. So, in tó ń fa argument pẹ̀lú àwọn kan nìyẹn pé look, Koiki, how can you tell us that we are not Nigerians? We have been given an independence, we are Nigerians, and that's all we need to go and manage with good leadership and work towards making the country to unite. Mori Oji Kalu, àwọn olórí burúkú àwọn politicians yìí, ẹgbọ́n kan tó sọ, ó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa festival tó ń ṣe lénìí, ẹgbọ́n kan tó sọ. This is coming from the cable. And I want you, as a Yoruba man, Igbo man, Hausa man, be honest with this message from Oji Kalu. Is an Easter message. Our diversity is a blessing. Is it true? Only our diversity is a blessing. Orji Kalu calls for unity in Easter message. Can we ever have unity? Kí ló ń pè ní
diversity?
Tá bá sọ pé
Diversity.
Tí bá sọ fún yín pé
Diversity.
the state of being diverse variety. There was considerable diversity in the style of report. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀, tẹ́ bá lọ sí platform mi, ẹ rí pé their own style of reporting and talking about Yoruba nation is different from mine. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yé yín nísìn. Their own style is different from mine. But kò mí pé tó ń sọ yẹn ó yàtọ̀ sí tèmi ń sọ. But bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń sọ ló yàtọ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń ṣàlàyé fún yín ó yàtọ̀ sí báwọn ṣe ń ṣàlàyé. My brother from Biafra say, Koiki, don't mind that man. It's one of the problems we have. I know that already. Thank you so much, my Biafra brother there. Imagine, maybe, Orji Kalu in an Easter message says our diversity is a blessing. Orji Kalu calls for unity in Easter message. Orji Kalu, one of the senators representing Abia North, has urged Nigerians to embrace unity and peace. Okay, unity and peace with who? We can still tolerate the Igbos to some extent, not that we can tolerate them on 100%. The Igbos can still also tolerate us, not 100%, but to some extent. And that goes with the Hausa, vice versa, and that goes to Ijo. But can we tolerate the Fulanis? Can we? We have just been told now that a Fulani man, a terrorist that killed 2 of our kings, was arrested again in Imo State. No. The question is, are we sure that we want to remain one Nigeria? But Orji Kalu is one of, we just heard from our brother from the Biafra, say, Koiki, forget about Orji Kalu, is one of the problems. Fulani don't have identity as Africans. So when we sit here and we are telling the average Nigeria that is Igbo, Hausa, that look, let us join hands together and have an independent Biafra country, independent Hausa country, independent Yoruba country. They say, no. We will go and bring Peter Obi. He's a good leader, because Tinubu is not a good leader. Oh, we will not vote Tinubu. We will go and vote Atiku. Look, we can't continue like this. We have told you continuously that all the politicians, they are not working for the agenda of me and you. They are working for their own agenda. So, Orji Kalu telling us this, that he added that no nation can thrive in an atmosphere of division and intolerance. The question is Nigeria a nation? Is Nigeria a nation? Because evidence has pointed out continuously that Nigeria is not a country. And I'm going to prove that by what this our brother say here.
There is no land called Nigeria. There is no language called Nigeria. There are no people called Nigerians. We are only deceiving ourselves. We are not Nigerian. Okay, where is Nigeria?
The journalist was asking that we are not Nigerians, and this my brother is saying, where is the Nigeria? Because if I go back to the meaning of Irish that we were looking at earlier, Irish can be referred to as several things, including nationality, a language, and a culture. So what this my brother is saying here is exactly what we should be asking Orji Kalu and other criminal politicians from the southeast representing Abia North, talking about we should all embrace unity because our diversity is a blessing.
As in, where is the land called Nigeria?
Where is the land called Nigeria? Ibonile Nigeria. Tell us the land. What is the Nigerian language? Because when we go back to the Irish says they have a language, they have a land, they have a culture.
We are nations that have been forced together to live in one pathetic country.
We are not nations. We are nations that have been forced to live together in one pathetic country called Nigeria. And that is something that many Nigerians still do not want to accept. And you know why they don't want to accept it? Because they still have some of the influencers that are deceiving them. We have them in the Yoruba, we have them in Hausa, we have them in Igbo that continuously would not want to talk about an independent Yoruba country. People like Funke Akindele, a well-respected Yoruba woman, but she's not going to talk. Imagine she contested as a Lagos State governor under PDP. Etibagwe. She contested now. We are talking about Yoruba nation now, but Funke Akindele is doing very well. She has money, her movie is doing very well, but she's not using that Yoruba-ness to talk about Yoruba nation. So as far as she's concerned, she has security, she has money to look after herself and her family, and few people, Sunday head not. Every year, that one we do by day, they will do cow, they will do this. And my from Loro come again. Some of these Yoruba, let's get more of their names. Baba Waris, doing Yoruba land Oduduwa, Kotu, Ojire, Omoluabi, still the same country, still the same name. The center cannot hold again. No land called Nigeria. We ought to push ourselves out by all possible means. And I love that. Whatever it means to get Yoruba out of Nigeria from this year is what we should do. Whatever it takes, in Kontoba Magba, pull Arawa out of Nigeria this year, we need to do it. First is our right. Second, that right is not given to you. Moki brother me, then what lot to say. So it's not about it's our right, but that right, so we now need to work hand in hand, collectively. I would love to have all our Yoruba actors and actresses to be on board, but they don't want to because they do not want, what they don't understand is that if they get involved today, it makes the journey faster. Just like, Showore is wasting time. As far as I'm concerned, Showore is wasting his time talking about trying to fix Nigeria. He's a time waster. And we have many people that are following Showore. If Showore endorse and support Yoruba Nation today, that is a big bonus to the movement. If any other actors, actresses, if Dele Momodu support Yoruba Nation today, is a big bonus. But Dele Momodu does not want to support Yoruba Nation because he is still part of the elite within Nigeria that wants to attend party, wants to show us his video on Instagram every now and then, and he will tell you that he has sacrificed himself because he was almost killed during the MK Abiola. But that one has passed. But he doesn't want to talk about anything called Yoruba Nation. He's still talking about election, even though he doesn't support Tinubu. But Dele Momodu is well read. He knows definitely that Nigeria is a failure. Nigeria can never work. Okoya Razak is not going to support Yoruba Nation because they're part of the British stool. Continue to give me their names. Vodi, Eliton Ronshaw, he doesn't want to talk about Yoruba Nation because he's enjoying money from the politicians. Dr. Ronshaw. Portable is not going to talk about Yoruba Nation. He's a Yoruba boy, but he's not interested in Yoruba Nation because as far as they're concerned, we don't know. So that means that we are left with the little of us that believe in this mission, and we have to do everything within our power. We don't have to destroy anything, but we have to be firm. Mokia Clement, Showore make me sick to my stomach. It's a foolish one, Nigerianness. I mean, how can you be talking about you want to fix Nigeria? Okay, what is he fighting for? Kini Showore nja fungongo. What exactly is Omoyele Showore fighting for? He wants to save Nigeria. If anybody is expecting Seun Kuti to join you as a Yoruba nation, he talks more about Africanism. But do you blame him? Fela Kuti has done everything for Femi Kuti, Seun Kuti, and the rest of the Kuti family. Their father has already sacrificed for them. That is why they have the leverage. That is why Femi Kuti can go abroad and go on a concert and make easy $40,000 for one concert, depending on who is inviting him for the concert. He comes back, he's smoking igbo, eating good food, and he's talking about Africanism. When we are talking about a Yoruba people that needs to exit, he's talking about Africanism. They have good followership, but he's not going to be interested because he has visa to travel around the world for the fact that Fela has done enough for them. So our Unisi, we have Igbowo and Babakitoye that wants to liberate millions of us, not the ones that Femi Kuti will give somebody 10,000 naira or 20,000 naira, 1 million naira. Those within his, we cannot give everybody money. He has posted it one time last year that, look, I don't have the money. Everybody is coming to my DM and ask for money. But Dele Momodu, then why not talk about Yoruba nation so that we can have a government that works for us? These are all the people that are the biggest obstacle, but those ones are minor. The biggest one we need to deal with are the politicians at the time that Tabamaja did rally. Showore needs to join the Yoruba nation train, but he doesn't want to join. Babakito is the Basoro. What the Basoro? But he doesn't, he's not interested. He wants to fix Nigeria. You know, they've seized his passport again. Showore will travel again, listen. Also to seize passport. For how long is he going? And he's no longer a young man, he's 52. Agbatide. Yes, he has done his best, but he's expecting Nigerians to push the people out. That's why he's calling for revolution. And you can tell that he doesn't have the kind of, strength like Igbowo, but we need him to be part of it so that strength Igbowo will join together and we make that kind of revolution that he's asking for. If Showore join us today, pẹ̀lú Igbowo, because Showore is a very strong man as well. So
anybody who goes there today to say, pray for Nigeria.
You cannot be praying for a country. That is what Oji Kalu is telling us now. Our diversity is a blessing. Oji Kalu calls for unity in the Easter message. He added that no nation can thrive in an atmosphere of division and intolerance. Oji Kalu, who shares the Senate Committee on the Southeast Development Commission, and there's no development in the Southeast, forget it. I talked about it this morning. I would love the Southeast to have their port and have everything working for them, but they refuse to fix it. So when Oji Kalu is talking about the development of the Southeast, he's lying. And all these are problems that we want to stop. Jonathan Goodluck, recorded Paolo that Nigeria is in. I have the video. Let me see if we can put that out as well tonight. So once again, if you're a Yoruba man, an Igbo woman, a Yoruba woman, an Igbo man, an Hausa woman, an Hausa women or man, and you're still talking about one Nigeria, you are a failure. Because one Nigeria is definitely a crime scene. Let's listen to Jonathan here. It's loading. It's taking a bit of time, but it's loading.
How we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at...
You see how we have been... Do you see the same politician? When Jonathan was the president, he did not talk about this like this. Just like Oji Kalu is talking about the unity. Baba OLAYOMI, Dele Momodu from Edo State, his father was originally from Tif, a village in Onweme East local government area of Edo State, Nigeria. Dele Momodu himself was born Dele Momodu himself was born and raised in Ile-Ife, Osun State. But it doesn't matter whether it's from Edo State or not. He needs to talk about the dissolution of Nigeria. And he's not doing that. Keke Oku said they are part and parcel of the system. My brother Okere says, since we have been hearing the clique unity in diversity, what has changed? Is it Ojikalu prayer that will bring about the unity when Fulani are massacring everybody? I mean, how can 6% of people disturbing the peace of every one of us? People cannot go to farm in the southeast. People cannot go to the farm in the southwest. But the unity that Ojikalu is talking about is exactly what Jonathan wants to talk about here. Let's listen to Jonathan one more time.
I'm thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have the conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought forth.
This will allow us to have a conversation about the Nigerian unity. Do we really have unity among ourselves? No. Can we be good neighbors? Yes. Do you think that all the British citizens love Germans? No. But they have to go there because they have business to do there or they want to go on holiday. Not all the Italians like the Spanish people. Not all the French can tolerate the Italians. So we can still be neighbors. But we cannot unite in a country that is never meant to be a country. Because Nigeria is not a country. And Jonathan is going to prove that again tonight. Clement says two-faced people are being killed daily. Yet he refused to raise an alarm. All these people are cowards. So Ojikalu cannot be talking about unity when people are being massacred on a daily basis.
To bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement. Nigeria is not a nation.
So if Nigeria is not a nation, why then are we pushing to have it as a nation? There will be no unity. The tendency of the country being able to withhold all these problems. A newborn baby was thrown into the water in Ibadan today. A newborn baby, a baby boy.
It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria.
And that's exactly what my brother say here.
There is no land called Nigeria. There is no language called Nigeria. There are no people called Nigerians. We are only deceiving ourselves. We are
not Nigerians. And that's exactly what Jonathan is saying. Bola Tinubu said, I don't believe in Nigeria while he was in the UK, but today he has changed his mind. Look at me. I feel sad when I saw the baby video. It is a very pathetic one. A newborn baby boy was thrown into the water and they had to pull the baby out. He already died. They must have thrown it into the water last night. Newborn baby, fresh. Let's go further. You're listening to Koikimedia and you're also listening to the VN that we're producing from our studio. Today now is the 20th April 2025 because we've gone 15 minutes past midnight.
From those who do not, this is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria.
Which is exactly what Ojikalu is talking about. Ojikalu says, and I quote, our diversity is a blessing. Ojikalu calls for unity. The question is, Jonathan is questioning that unity. Let's listen again.
Talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria.
Ojikalu is talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria because this man says, and I quote, let's listen.
There is no land called Nigeria. There is no language called Nigeria. There are no people called Nigerians. We are only deceiving ourselves. We are not Nigerian. Okay, where is Nigeria? Where is the land called Nigeria? What is the Nigerian language? We are nations that have been forced together.
We are nations Biafra nation, Oduduwa nation, Hausa nation, Ijaw nation. But because of the European criminality to bring, let me quickly bring this in. There was a video that a brother sent to me, and they don't want us to grow, and they are pushing every reason to make sure that we, the Yoruba and the Igbos, will never grow. I want us to listen to this video that was sent to me on a YouTube channel through our brother just about a few days ago. I want us to listen together with me. Mumbo, let's play this while I get that ready.
60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This I credit to Sir Amado Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. He thought, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country.
And by 2025, the Yoruba people must stop that. Now, you can hear what Jonathan is saying there. This is an opportunity for us to now prove that we are not cowards. Omokoniwa. This is the time that we need to push everything that we have, our knowledge, our wealth, our determination, our strength. As the diaspora will be getting ready for the rally, the Yoruba at home will be getting ready for the rally. And the rally will eventually lead us out of Nigeria. Because we can hear from Jonathan, a former sitting president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, telling us that what?
1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country.
The British government have been trying to make Nigeria into a one country. But the people of Nigeria doesn't want to be one country. They want to be many countries. Have their country with different economic that works for them. Speak their language. And that is why if we go back to the Irish, like I said earlier, the Irish can refer to several things, including a nationality, a language, and a culture. It is most commonly used to refer to the people, language, and culture of Ireland, an island nation in West Europe. The question is, where is the country called Nigeria?
There is no land called Nigeria. There is no language called Nigeria. There are no people called Nigerians. We are only deceiving ourselves. We are not Nigerian. Okay, where is Nigeria? As in, where is the land?
So, are we saying that our politicians are not aware that we are not Nigerians? They don't care. So, what do we do next? That is where our push this year to the liberation of the Yoruba people, because we cannot wait for Britain, because Britain's intention is to keep Nigeria into that same amalgamation. America will say, look, I can't come and fight for you guys. And you know what we say now? We can only intervene if we see that there is danger to humanity. That means we need to push ahead. Russia is not going to do much. And that is why if I play this video that was sent to me, it might mean nothing to you, but let's just listen to it.
Iran drops a bombshell. The devil is terrified of black Israelites waking up. In a world rife with deception, oppression, and concealed truths, Iran has issued a startling declaration that is sending shockwaves through theological circles and global institutions alike. Iranian religious scholars have unveiled what they believe to be the ultimate spiritual revelation. The devil's greatest fear is the awakening of the black Israelites.
The devil fear is the awakening of the Biafra and the Yorubas. The devil is scared. àwọn ilé ti fẹ́ já o, tá a bá jẹ́ káwọn ilé já kò ní sẹ́ni tó máa wá sí Europe o. Kí ló fẹ́ travel fún? Americans don't travel. Yeah, they are doing very well in their country. Why do they want to travel? People don't travel. They have 52 states. They have not visited all the 52 states. They're talking about going to any other country. Only few of them travel. Some of them don't even have American passport. So this fight to achieve Yoruba nation is the last straw to break the camel's back. It does not matter what they're going to throw at us. Government push anything. It doesn't matter. It's not the first time that government is doing anything that will try to, but this time around, we need to prove that we are determined. You know why? We are now becoming awakening, and the devil doesn't like that. Yeah? Koiki ti ń liberate àwọn èèyàn, Ìgbòho ti ń liberate àwọn èèyàn, Bàbá Kítóyè ti ń liberate àwọn èèyàn. Wọ́n ní kó lọ máa múra sílẹ̀ pé a máa di ìlú. We need to now prove it. Let me say this again. There is no amount of YouTube videos that you watch, whether it's a live or recorded or is not recorded, that does not give us a country. There's no amount of Facebook video that we are watching that will give us a country. What will give us a country that we can be proud of and say we are already in country is when we are finally declare our country and be able to hold the flag, to fly high in the mast across every Yoruba land. Ìyẹn láti gba country o. Anything short of that, all we are just going to be doing is just what we are doing right now. What we are doing right now is what we call the awareness section. But to make that awareness to become a reality and stop the British intention, we'll come back to that video. I'm trying not to use everything in one straight, so I want to go back to Jonathan again. Let's listen to Jonathan from this angle again.
Northern region. They thought, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite.
So, if Jonathan is saying that we have not and tried to be united, why is Orji Kalu telling us about unity? So you can say that the politicians are deceit. It does not matter whether it's Igbo politician, Hausa politician, Fulani politician, Yoruba politician, they are all deceitful people. So ìwọ ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń sọ pé Katuwaloma think about election in 2027. We have the option to pull out together and have a very better country. Muki brother, me triple DRS. And this is why the coming out of our rally has to be a determination that we want to achieve our Yoruba country. No, we should do it slowly. Or what is going to happen? We are coming out so that we can eventually have our country. Our previous rally was to create awareness. This time around, our rally is not to create awareness, it's to have a country. That is why Baba Kitoye stated it clearly that this rally will lead to the Yoruba nation as a country. Baba Kitoye stated this. Apparently, I've deleted that video off this phone because this phone is not giving me enough to have so much information on it. So, man, delete video. But remember that is what Baba Kitoye said. But the devil is not happy. The devil is not happy that the awakening of the Biafra, the awakening of the Yoruba, and even the awakening of the Hausas, that they want to now become a full independent country. Let me explain what is going to happen. These three countries, if we eventually become country very soon by the end of this year, you will have an ambassador representing that country from Biafra, Yoruba, and Hausa. You will have your military representing Yoruba separate, Hausa separate, Biafra separate. The police will be separate. Everything that we have in Nigeria today that is being used and manipulated against each one of us, we will have it separate under our own different government, wearing different uniform. So if you go to Biafra land, you will see that the police will respect you. They will not be the one that doesn't respect you as we used to be in Nigeria. If you come to Yoruba land, the police will be valuable to make sure that they can trace any criminality. We will have a military that will love and respect the people. But this situation, then you must also experience whatever the circumstances that you're facing right now. Let's listen to this more.
Devil's
And I want to end the program because I've given you more nuggets. But it seems that we have done 1 hour, even though it's been in and out bouncing. But I hope that tonight's message is also going to be valid as many messages. Yoruba Nation is not just to listen to program. Yoruba Nation is to achieve the country itself by coming out when the rally is called, that will eventually lead to an independent Yoruba country. Anybody tó bá promote pé rally ń bọ̀, the question is, ṣé wọ́n really fẹ́ kí Yorùbá dá dúró? Because what are we going to do? We don't have anything more than to come out and ask for the rally. I mean, come out and then from the rally will lead to the independent Yoruba country. Politics cannot help us to get a Yoruba country. Nobody's going to give you a referendum, but we have every right to officially pull ourselves out of Nigeria at the appropriate time, and that time will lead from the rally. Because if the rally starts and millions of us start coming out, we have already gained the momentum to tell the world that this is what we have been saying for the last 5 years. Our people are ready, and then we take it to the next stage. But Tebani encourage àwọn èèyàn wa nísìn, especially some that are not doing so, and they are doing all different programs. The question is, how long are they going to be doing program for? We have done enough program in the last 5 years, including my platform and other platforms. It does not matter how perfect they're good in joining videos together, talking about it. Those awareness has been very great, fantastic. But the final push, let's encourage our people to prepare to come out so that can really result in awareness. If not, we will end up next year talking about Yoruba Nation again on the social media, and we can all become very stupid. And I don't want to be in that bracket. OLAYOMI KOIKI, I don't want to be in that bracket. I want to have a country in readiness for a future that is better for me, so that I can relocate back home officially into Yoruba land. But the band sọ pé, no, it's ready, ó kù díẹ̀, I encourage àwọn èèyàn wa. Then that means we don't want a country. We're just fooling people. And that's why Igboho says he is ready to lead. Babakito said he's ready to lead. Emola says he's ready to lead. Gani Alagbala, that is holding the Felodun, is ready to lead. All other groups are ready to lead. The question is, what are we waiting for? What we are waiting for now is for us to push out. It does not matter how Tobashiwa painful. Happy weekend and happy Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday. Muki, again, I am pleading with us to take this Yoruba Nation at the final stage to Kunisi as more serious than Ibatakokobere. It is important. Tabari ni tekwe gbogbo afe country. And let me put it this way: the equation of those of us that want it, even Tabari number want to fenile, we have the right to say we want Yoruba country. Let me give an example. Let's look at it for ìwọ̀nba wa ta fẹ́ Yoruba Nation lélẹ̀. Àwọn tó fẹ́ yẹn wọ́n mọ̀ pé ní ewu làwọn wà, so we got to rescue them out of it. So let's give an example. 70 million Yoruba people on the ground, and about 40-50 million telling us, and I want to use just a very directive word, to fuck off. Our náà máa sọ fún wọn pé fuck off as well. We will rescue you because you are in danger. You don't know you are in danger. Because tẹ́ ẹ bá mọ̀ pé wà in danger ni wọ́n ẹni tó lóyún tó wá bímọ tó lọ́jọ́ ọmọ yẹn sínú odò láàárọ̀ yìí ó lè má mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ni problem yẹn. So àwa gbọ́dọ̀ rescue ẹ̀. Right now we can't rescue it. Àwọn ìyá tó bímọ yẹn ọmọ ti kú nísìn. Woman tó bímọ yẹn gan nísìn ó lè lọ hospital kó má treat ẹ̀. Wọn ní mọ̀ kó ṣe bímọ ni. So a máa ṣe self medication nínú ilé. There are many dangers that we need to end, and the only way we can end it is by asking for our country. 26 years has been more than enough for the politicians who have done something great. We thank them. They've done very well for the 26 years, but this time, so ìwọ tó bá ṣì ní family, because I know some of us still have our family within the politics and all this, start telling them that ìtàn sọ tí bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho ń sọ àti Ẹmọ̀lá àti àwọn Yorùbá self determination àtàwọn tó ń ṣe Yorùbá nation, eléyìí ń sọ̀rọ̀ Koiki nìkan, eléyìí ń sọ̀rọ̀ eré o, eléyìí ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé I act movie o. Mo máa ń sọ fún yín, there is no script here. Tàbá kàn mú information tá a fi ń bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí online, kò sí kankan tó wà scripted. We are determined to have our country. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni network yẹn ó bá àdìgbẹ́ má bínú ẹ bá wa gbà bẹ́ẹ̀. So that is about it. This is Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. So I think we've done enough tonight. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ relax ká tó lè tètè lọ sùn. Mo kíyàwó Rónkẹ́, mo kí yín mọ́mì wa, ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mo kíyàwó Ìyàndá, mo kí ìyá mi dáadáa Tóyìn Ọláoyè, àwọn ìyá Ìgbòho nìyẹn, àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ Ìgbòho dọ́kàndọ́kàn, wọn fi Ìgbòho ṣeré rárá. Mo kí bàbá wa Joseph, bàbá prophetic dada, gbogbo ẹni tó ti darapọ̀ mọ́ Ìfẹ́lódùn, bàbá wa Ìgbòho, in tó bá lè mú Ìgbòho pè mí pé agbẹnusọ mi jáde kó lọ sọ̀kan báyìí, ó ti dá pé nǹkan tá gbọ́dọ̀ accept ni, and that is the man that we love him so much. We cannot joke with him. We pray that others will rise along with him. We don't want to be here condemning, any other Yoruba actors that are very strong, akikanju, but we hope that they can walk in line pẹ̀lú Ìgbòho so that kí gbogbo wa lè achieve Yoruba nation. Mo kí bàbá wa Àṣà is doing fantastically well. Tírú bàbá yẹn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣe wàhálà fún Tinubu tó débẹ̀, tọ́dẹ̀ lè come back nísìnyí pé ọmọ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lóòótọ́, but àwọn tí accept pé Tinubu ò lè gbé anywhere. Ó jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá yẹn, ó jẹ́ ká ṣe kéde ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá Àṣà, because these are people that love Tinubu so much, supported him spiritually, physically, and he has come out of it to say no, kò possible. So mo bẹ̀ wá, then ẹ̀yin tí Aláàfin ló superior Ọọ̀ni ló superior, ìyẹn kọ́ la need nísìnyí o. Ẹ má disrupt the mind àwọn èèyàn wa o. We need to focus on how to get our people out. I don't understand. I know people have different things to talk about. Bí ìkànnì wọn náà sọ fi ti wálẹ̀, but Aláàfin ló tóbi jù, Aláàfin ló kéré jù, Ọọ̀ni ló dàgbà jù. Please, I beg you. Mo ń bẹ̀ yín ní ẹjọ́. I don't think we need this kind of distraction at this time. I know there are many other distractions in the country. A rí Portable tó bá Speed Darlington jà, ìyẹn náà ló jùjú fóun, around Lisa Anjorin àti Ìyábọ̀ Òjó, another drama, very dark man àtàwọn Hausa, another. There's many dramas happening in Nigeria. This can take you from the reality. Reality tàwa ni pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró ni o. Ẹ má jẹ́ kẹ́ni kankan distract yín with any of these issues. Kòbánà ṣe 50th birthday, gbogbo àwọn wo àgbádùn wọ́n ṣe this, wọ́n náwó, wọ́n ṣe that. Wàá kọ́ máa wò lórí social media ni o. But I want you to have a country where tó bá tẹ̀jẹ́ pé nínú ilé ẹ̀ ló kàn tẹ́wọ̀n pé onígàrí ń bẹ̀ yẹn, nínú fíríjì ẹran wà ń bẹ̀, ẹ̀dìẹ̀ ẹlòmíì ò tí jẹ turkey nísìnyí, kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ 2 years kò jẹ turkey. Àti jẹja gan, ẹja gidi gan, odò ẹja tèmi lọ níjọ́ ní ẹja oríṣi bí abẹ́ mẹ́ta ara èdè ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ jẹ́ èdè rí mọ́ èdè kẹ̀ gbogbo kódà lájọ́ ta ti ràjọ́ tó ti dín nìkan báyìí ni mo ti jẹ́ nú ẹ̀ ó wà ní fíjì ń bẹ̀ mo tẹ̀ rántí pé ó wà ń bẹ̀ because ebi kọ́ ló ń pa wá a máa ń sọ fún yín even though pé mo wà láfíríkà ebi ò pa mí even though I am in Africa ebi kọ́ ló ń pa mí because I have done enough to the British economy but I have not èmi ò tẹ̀ tí ṣe kankan sí ilẹ̀ wa so and I'm 40 plus so if I can do 20 years láti serve ìlú mi in whatever field I think it's worth it. Mo ti serve UK for 27 years. What I need now is mo fẹ́ lọ fi ìwọ̀nba díẹ̀ tó kù abẹ́ Ọlọ́run kó fún alẹ́ mi gúngún ni Ọlọ́run ló mọ̀ gbà tó lúkálukú máa ń lọ. Mo sọ fún yín àlùkà àbúrò ìyàwó ẹ̀ wà lára àwọn tí ó kú nínú ilé tó dà wó léni. Wọ́n tó bá sọ fún wọn pé ó máa kú léni ní sanwó léni rọ́ ni. Kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ní. Ìyẹn la ṣe sọ fún Tinubu rò pé òun lòun ní ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ ni. Àwa gbàdúrà fún kẹ́mi ẹ̀gùn ni bọ̀ kò lè dá wa dúró o. Àdè nígbà kó dá wa dúró àdè nígbà kó fi tiẹ̀ kó bá wa àwa la máa prove ọmọ ọkọ fún gbogbo wọn nígbà tó bá ti ní kí gbogbo akáṣe kéde ká jáde tẹ́ bá ti bá vn wa pàdé ṣe rí voice note yẹn ó dákẹ́ bá wa máa pín kò ń ṣe gbogbo yàn ló lè gbọ́ program wa délẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni aláwọ̀ bàbá ni nothing will stop this movement ṣe rí tí bá ń bá Ìgbòho sọ̀rọ̀ kò ń ṣàwọn nǹkan tí ó jẹ́ private a lè máa sọ fún yín but assurance kan tó máa ń sọ ni pé coordinator ilé ti ṣe é ṣe and for me that is a kind of another energy the same thing pẹ̀lú bàbá Akíntóyè àwọn kan ti gbìyànjú tán náà ti ń ṣe Yorùbá nation adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn náà ti ń ṣe láti jọ kìíní ẹ àwọn tí I accept but eléyìí tá à ń bá lọ yìí ó máa fún wa ní country ni o this particular Yorùbá nation movement tá à ń bá lọ ó máa eventually fún wa ní country a máa pe Ọlọ́run a máa pe ànábì a máa lo ìṣẹ̀ṣe a máa lo strategy a máa lo ọgbọ́n tọ́lọ̀ fún wa títí tá a máa fi make a declaration of our country and we hold it tight. Ẹ lọ múra sílẹ̀ o mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o ẹ ti fún wa lówó Easter Sunday àdúrà wa gbà mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nílé lóko mo kẹ́yìn diaspora gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ ṣe náwó a ṣe rí àwọn owó tó ń wọlé díẹ̀díẹ̀ towards the rally walkie-talkie ẹni méjì mẹ́ta tó bá di Monday àtútùjọ ìtàbágbàjọ àlọ́ tó fi ra sí àti deliver the first batch mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo èèyàn wa àwọn tí mo ní máa fún lórí platform wa ẹ mọ̀ pa ní mẹ́wàá kan fún staff wa nínú the first 100 yẹn ti pé àtútù ra another set báyìí so àwọn staff wa ti yọ 8 ó kù 12 so mo ti pèèyàn kan tó máa fún ní méjì tó jẹ́ pé láti platform wa I don't have to tell you who they are so I will decide from the Koikimedia channel àwọn tí mo fẹ́ fún má pè mí mo mọ àwọn tí mo fẹ́ fún so tá a bá pè yín bóyá ìtì akó fún àwọn professor àti bàbá Akíntóyè àti Ìgbòho bí ẹ wá fún yín náà I don't know but ìta bá tún rà mo máa hand over fún wọn ni kò ń ṣe fèmí owó tó 13,000 naira ń ṣòwò kékeré ẹlòmíì tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ tó bá jáde owó ọjọ́ tó lọ ń pa kò tó 13,000 naira so kò ń ṣe toy kò ń ṣe takọ̀ máa mú fẹ́ anybody pẹ́ fi sínú ilé náà ó ní iṣẹ́ tó fi ṣe fún rally yìí ni so the more we are buying the more I'm handing over to the àwọn tó jẹ́ body wa èmi kọ́ ni mo ní owó tó ní kí n fi rà èmi kọ́ mo ní so mẹ́wàá tí mo request fún a máa donate like staff walkie-talkie no it doesn't work like that so àdúrà wa gbà ẹni tó bá rí walkie-talkie kò ṣe dandan pé kẹrẹ yọ ní kẹ má jáde àwọn tó fẹ́ lò ó ní purpose tó fẹ́ lò nínú movement yẹn nígbà tá a bá jáde fún rally kí ni megaphone tara àti ra mẹ́wàá ó ní Bluetooth connectivity if we get more because yẹn wá a bit expensive about 17,000 naira so we see how much we can buy but for now I will stick to the walkie-talkie mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí ọ àdúrà wa gbà ọ Yorùbá nation no going back ó easy láti sọ but tá a bá sọ pé no going back yẹn tó bá ti ní ká jáde ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ pé Koiki bọ́ kí ló tó ń pẹ́ tá a fi jáde báyìí kò pẹ́ lójú tèmi o I keep saying to you ó ń súnmọ́ bọ̀ mo mọ date lóòótọ́ but ó ń súnmọ́ bọ̀ summit ń bọ̀ lọ́n the 26th olùkàlùkù máa múra sílẹ̀ fún yẹn ní next week Saturday ní summit And very soon, the official announcement would also come. Wọ́n ní, can we buy whistle? Tabarẹ́ni tó bá rà fún wa, whistle. I need the whistle. Tabarẹ́ni tó bá ra whistle fún wa. Tabarẹ́ni tó lè ra white handkerchiefs tó pọ̀. White handkerchiefs. Ẹ̀mọ̀ pé fún peace ni ẹ wà fún. Anything white, peace. So táwọn èèyàn lè kàn so mọ́ pa, so mọ́ ọwọ́, Tabarẹ́ni tó lè ra white handkerchief fún wa. So we will get there. Agbára Ọlọ́run. We're still on the ground. Àlàáfíà lèmi náà wà, àlàáfíà làwọn ọmọ Oòduà wà. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ náwó sí wa. Àǹtí mi tó pè mí láàárọ̀, it was quite encouraging. Wọ́n ní gbogbo àwọn táwọn tó sọ Yorùbá nation fún ní 4 years ago tó ọ̀dá wọn lóhùn. Àwọn èèyàn ńláńlá ní Nàìjíríà, gbogbo wọn nísìnyí ti accept pé tòótọ́ ni Koiki àti Ìgbòho àti Bàbá Akíntóyè sọ àtàwọn mídíà tó kù. And on that note, I need to end the broadcast. Happy Easter Sunday. Àdúrà wa gbà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ń lọ ṣe ìjọsìn yín, ẹ máa rántí pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ká túbọ̀ ṣàdúrà fún. Màá play video ti bí yẹn lọ́la. Ilẹ̀ ti ṣú nísìn. It's coming up to almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Same time là ń lò pẹ̀lú UK. Mo kẹ́ ìta America. Mo kẹ́ brother mi Aziz. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo kí ìyá wa Fágbémilékè tó jẹ́ mẹ́ta tàrí yín. Mo kí bàbá wa Àlàbí Bàṣírù Mọ̀kẹ́wà Lábẹ́tò GR1. Ẹni tá bá dárúkọ má fi ṣèbínú. Mo kí gbogbo yín o. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń fún wa ní advice. Àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín. Mo kí mọ̀ sí mi náà dáadáa. Mo lè kí àwọn ìyàwó mi. And on that note, ọ̀rọ̀ ayọ̀ la máa sùn. Kọ́lọ̀ kò jẹ́ wá sáyé o. No retreat, no surrender, no going back. Yoruba nation, the solution to all our problems that we have experienced in Nigeria. Bye for now.